For over a decade, choosing between iPhone and Android felt like a one-way commitment, but everything is about to change.
For over a decade now, picking between an iPhone and an Android has felt like a permanent choice. Once you're in, you're in. You're basically trapped in this walled garden of your apps, your messages, your photos. Well, get ready, because all of that is about to change in a really big way.
This quote from a reporter at CNET just hits the nail on the head, right? The anxiety of leaving your phone's ecosystem, it's not just some tech nerd problem. For a lot of people, it is a source of genuine, real-world stress.
And a huge part of that stress isn't even about the technology itself. It's about social pressure. Seriously, the very first wall you hit when you try to switch, it's usually built by your own friends and family. Let's dig into what that actually looks like.
Ah yes, the infamous blue bubble cult. If you have ever been the one person with an Android in a group of iPhone friends, you know exactly what this feels like. That simple little switch from a blue iMessage bubble to a green SMS bubble, it can cause a surprising amount of social drama. And this is where it gets real. This quote right here shows you the actual consequences. It's not just about what color the bubble is, it's about the fact that things just break. The second an Android user joins an iMessage group chat, the whole conversation can, and very often does, just completely fall apart. And this is what that chaos actually looks like in practice. The group chat just shatters. It splinters into all these different threads. Suddenly you see people reacting to messages that aren't even on your phone. It can get so messy that the only solution people can think of is to literally remove the Android user from the group. It's a total communication nightmare. Okay, so let's say you somehow managed to navigate that social minefield. Well, now you're face-to-face with an even bigger obstacle, the data migration nightmare. Just getting your stuff, your actual life, from one phone to the other has been historically an absolutely brutal process.
The old way of doing this, oh man, it's a mess. First, you've got to download some special app. Then you need to find the right cable or just pray your Wi-Fi is strong enough. You have to remember to manually turn off stuff like iMessage on your old phone, and if you forget, poof, your texts might just vanish into the digital ether forever. And even if all of that somehow works, you're still stuck re-downloading most of your apps, one by one.
And here's the stuff that really hurts. All the things that just get left behind. Your paid apps and subscriptions? Nope, you gotta buy those all over again. Your message history? It's a total crapshoot, unreliable at best. All those photos in iCloud? You have to put in a manual request to Apple that can take 3 to 7 days. Passwords, notes, voice memos, even your digital SIM card. It's all on you to figure out. It's so tedious.
And sometimes the process goes beyond just being incomplete. It gets comically absurdly broken. Get this, one user reported their text finally transferred over, but they all had a timestamp of December 31st, 1969. Come on. That's not just a little bug, that's proof of how fundamentally broken and incompatible these two systems were designed to be.
For years, this was just the way it was. This frustrating, broken system seemed like it would never change. Why would Apple or Google ever make it easier for you to leave their platform? But then, an outside force finally stepped in to shake everything up.
And that's the big question, isn't it? When these companies have so much to gain by keeping you locked in their ecosystems, what in the world could possibly force them to build a bridge between their walled gardens? Well, the answer comes in 3 letters. DMA, the Digital Markets Act. You can think of it as a powerful new referee in the world of big tech. It's a massive regulation from the EU, and it's aimed squarely at these giant gatekeepers like Apple and Google. And one of its main goals is to make sure that you, the user, can easily take your data and walk away.
And make no mistake, the DMA is not just a friendly suggestion. It has real teeth. It became law in late 2022, and it set a hard deadline of March 6, 2024 for these companies to get in line. Because of that, Apple has now officially committed to creating a brand new, user-friendly way to transfer data, and they're targeting fall 2025 to release it. This wasn't a choice, it was a mandate.
So, faced with this incredible regulatory pressure, the two biggest rivals in the entire mobile world did something that, honestly, nobody really saw coming. They decided to team up. Now, you have to remember, for decades, Apple's iOS and Google's Android have been in a state of all-out war. Their entire business models were built around creating these totally separate worlds designed to keep you from ever leaving.
And now they're collaborating. The very companies that spent years building up these walls are now working together to build a gate. It's a partnership that is truly unprecedented. And this table right here shows you the night and day difference this is going to make. Instead of some clunky third-party app, the transfer process is going to be built right into your phone's setup screen. Instead of losing all your texts, you'll get a full, reliable transfer. And that super annoying call you have to make to your carrier to move your eSIM, yeah, that's going to become an automated, digital process.
So what makes this new system so much better? Well, for starters, it's integrated at the operating system level, which means it has deep, direct access to all your data. Second, the transfer is peer-to-peer. Your data goes straight from your old phone to your new one, without ever hitting a cloud server. Plus, it's being built with security in mind, using a safer programming language called Rust, and it's being checked by independent experts.
But look, this whole collaboration is so much bigger than just a technical fix for a frustrating problem. It really signals a fundamental shift in the entire mobile industry, and that can mean a much more open future for all of us.
When you look at the sheer numbers, the scale here is just massive. Android has about 72% of the global market, iOS has around 27%. We're not just talking about a cool new feature, we are talking about making life easier for literally billions of users and completely changing how the two biggest players in the game interacts with each other.
For so long, the name of the game was building stickier walls to keep people in. But now that those walls are starting to crumble, the battleground itself is changing. Companies are now going to have to compete by actually making better phones, better software, and better services, not just by making it a complete nightmare for you to leave.
So, this leaves us with a really exciting question. In a world without these digital walls, a world where we are all truly free to choose whatever phone we want, will the best product finally win simply on its own merits? The future of the smartphone is, all of a sudden, way more open than it's ever been before.
So, in a world without these digital walls, where we are all truly free to choose, will the best product finally win simply on its own merits?